Greetings, horror fans. Here we are, The Stand, the second take of a mini-series. Well, not a mini-series, a full series. A mini-series with about 3-4 episodes.
Yes.
This is a full series of the Stephen King book, The Stand.
Then, unfortunately for me, if anyone is adapting any kind of work from Stephen King, my standards go.
Your standards.
My standards goes all the way up.
Yeah, so you're very critical when it comes to
Incredibly.
that. You're a bit of a Stephen King snob.
Completely.
Which is fine. You're allowed to be that. When this whole thing came around, it was kind of very apt, at a very apt, opportune time with the whole COVID pandemic, and because The Stand is pretty much
That's right.
a virus that...
You almost expect it to become a zombie thing, but thankfully it isn't.
Yeah. So this virus kind of takes over the planet and destroys most of the population. Now, when I heard this series was reaching completion, I was quite surprised because Mick Garris, the great, fantastic Mick Garris, already did a mini-series of The Stand. But then I realized that was 1994. It's decades ago.
Long ago.
And so it was probably due for an update, or sometimes you don't have to. Just like if you remake The Shining, although Mick Garris did do a mini-series of The Shining.
And I mean, although I love The Shining, Stanley Kubrick, it's a masterpiece. The Mick Garris mini-series on The Shining was more closer to the book.
That's the thing. But then I always have this argument with people, not an argument, just a discussion, that a book is a book and a movie is a movie.
No, for sure.
And a book doesn't necessarily translate 100% to the screen.
Absolutely.
So you have to make concessions, change things, remove things.
But as a reader, if something really stands out in the book, for instance, in the book, the weapon wasn't an axe, it was a
croquet mallet. Oversized croquet mallet.
Which for me was fantastic, because it's always an axe.
Yeah.
It was different.
But The Shining has become the ultimate axe movie.
No, absolutely.
Because it's so freaking good.
Yes.
But besides that, okay, so Mick Garris made this in 1994. It starred Rat Packers like Molly Ringwald and Rob Lowe, and Gary Sinise was in there before he was in Forrest Gump.
All the people of the era. Yes.
I mean, Kathy Bates, who was in Misery, so kind of little Stephen King connections there.
Yes, it's like he's found his new staple in the Skarsgård family.
Which brings us to this one.
That's right.
The bad guy in this Stand is Skarsgård, but I think he was miscast.
Absolutely.
Which Skarsgård was this?
It was Alexander Skarsgård from True Blood.
Yeah.
And whereas in True Blood he was a villain, but he was sort of a sexy villain.
It's also kind of tongue-in-cheek and...
Very tongue-in-cheek.
Okay,
he didn't cut it as a villain his acting was very good. It's just that the guy that he is, it didn't fit.
Yeah, I don't know if
the role.
It's Stephen King has his bully archetypes that he always has, whether they are the devil or just a school bully or a guy outside of society. It's just, it's always very much boils down to this kind of ducktail, leather jacket,
yes.
denim
Scully
boot kind of guy usually with a flick knife. But what the deal is in The Stand, if you don't know the plot, very few survivors, but some of these people, they get these visions of an old lady in a cornfield telling them to come to a specific spot in, I think, Boulder, Colorado.
Abigail.
And on the other flip side, she's sort of the light side, and on the dark side, there's Skarsgård's character, Flag. Is he Flag?
That's right.
Sort of the bad side, drawing all the bad people to Vegas.
And some of them actually get both. They get visions of both Abigail and...
He like infiltrates their...
That's right.
And
the role of Abigail was portrayed by Whoopi Goldberg,
in the new one.
And I thought she was really well cast in it.
No, she was good, because she hasn't really been in much.
No.
besides that TV show. What's it? The View?
The View.
But it also feels like it's too many episodes for me. I think I'd never read the book.
Yes, I read the book many years ago as a young teenager, so I don't recall much from the book.
So I have no reference to what they changed, what they updated, what they twisted and turned, whereas I can remember some of the stuff in Mick Garris's version,
yes.
And there's a whole lot that's been altered. The basics, all the basics
are
there.
the same.
There was some stuff that just didn't sit well with me. But I'm not the one, I don't want to sit and dump on something.
No, I mean it's your basic duality between good and evil, and it's set in this sort of post-apocalyptic setting.
Yeah.
And the characters are sort of typical Stephen King characters. There's a writer,
A nerdy
always.
writer. It is entertaining enough, but for me, it could have had 3 less episodes. There was just some stuff that was just so grating. Like there's this one character, I don't know if he's supposed to be mentally challenged, constantly screaming pyromaniac character that had to now go fetch a nuclear.
It got so bad that you almost you felt like you could forward through it.
It's a tough one. I mean, you're a Stephen King disciple, so for you, I don't know how you felt about them doing this again. I mean, there are so many Stephen King properties, and so much has been remade, so much has been made. I guess you can't win them all.
I think The Stand was a popular novel. It had a lot of fans. I think that's probably why the miniseries was remade. For me personally, there was no point in seeing another version of it.
If you wanted to update it with technology and stuff that's changed over the years, but that's so minimal.
Yes, it wasn't
it's not necessary.
enough. But also you have to consider a new generation. I mean, Stephen King still, to this day, he is just still writing books. He's got a huge amount of fans. So there is a new generation of King fans, and I think this caters to them. I will not be surprised if you see a reboot of The Shining for TV.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That would be...
I mean,
that would be very risky.
You've had The Outsider, which I thought was very good.
In fact, you usually read the book and then but now you bought the book after seeing the series, and
yes.
that was very well done.
That's right. It was made for TV and it was brilliant. It was brilliant. This version of The Stand is lacking, but it also could just be a case of me being a bit jaded. So I might change my eyeball score.
Ooh. Okay. So I'd say your eyeball score is your eyeball score. Everyone's entitled to their own eyeball score. But yeah, at least get back to Mick Garris. It was very nice in the last episode to see him in a little cameo at this kind of this...
With his beautiful grey locks.
Gorgeous. Long grey hair.
Yes.
But I don't want to dump on something just because there are certain little things that gnaw at me, but then those little gnawing things, they are there, you cannot deny them. Because there's some of the characters, they're a bit too mopey or...
It didn't have enough depth.
I don't know, well, it depends, but it's, just Skarsgård did not convince me as...
Don't get me wrong.
The embodiment of all...
I love Alexander Skarsgård.
No, we know you do. And his brother was also another Stephen King...
Bill Skarsgård.
He's become a Stephen King... he was Pennywise in It.
Yes.
And he was in something else, wasn't he, in another Stephen King...
He was. I just can't...
Anyway,
that's bad.
But Skarsgård, the older one, he just did not convince me that he is the embodiment of all evil. So
no,
with his blonde hair,
he's
and
too sweet to be evil.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a pretty face. But then that could have been part of it because he seduces people and
I reckon if you haven't seen it, watch it.
If you have, I mean, it's about 8 or 9 episodes, I'm not sure. If you have
It's
the
not
time,
that massive a time investment.
if you have the time to do that,
Yes.
do it. Otherwise, watch something else.
Read the book.
Oh, that's going to take longer. That's it.
But
No, for some people it might take longer.
Yeah.
Other people it might be quicker. Depends if you're a good reader. Okay. Well, there's so many Stephen King things we will still get to. Movies, series, books. But it'll happen. Hey man, what do you want? Chatting to your sis? Okay.
Okay, so what's your...
Oh, sorry, we still need to rate this. I will give it a straight down the middle 5.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
A 4.
Sorry.
No, don't say sorry.
No, but now you have to recalculate.
No, 5 and 4 is 9, so it's 4.5.
Okay. Damn, we don't get past 4.5.
Wow, man. We're going to have to pick something that we know is fantastic so that we get a 10 average. I don't know if that'll ever happen.
Insidious.
I won't give it a 10.
Hereditary.
That's good, but I won't give it a 10. Alrighty, here we go. Back to watching movies. You'll probably be doing the same. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, tell us what you think. What are your favorite Stephen King movies and books and series?
Tell us if you want us to review something specific.
If you now want our fantastic opinion on it. Because like old Clint Eastwood said in Deadpool, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Yes.
And that's true.
But we'll do it if you want us to do
If you want to, we'll do it.
Yes. It has to be a horror film though.
And if we own it, or we can access it and find it, because we're not going to go download it illegally, because we just don't like doing that.
No.
Cool.
Nice.
Catch you later.
Bye.